Heidi, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reset your password. That way, if you notice when I'm logged in, I have a lot of different options. I have all the options. Whereas when you log in, you just have your name here. So I'm going to just change this, and I'm going to change this to 111, and I'll show you how to change it in just a second. You probably already know. So I'm going to save this. Your password is 111 right now as you read this. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. And I'm going to sign in as you, and I'll show you how to change that password. 111. Hopefully this works. Okay, good. So to change your password, you're just going to come up to My Account, Edit Account Settings, and you're going to be able to change your password under that somewhere. Change password right there. Alright, so we're going to open up the Site Manager, which you're somewhat familiar with, obviously, already, and you can see your pages here. So that's what I mean. Mine looks way different than this, so bear with me a little bit. So right now you have two pages. You have your calendar and you have your home page. And let me just make sure. Okay. We're going to click on your home page. And we had talked about moving this to possible two-page or two-column layout. So you do have many different options, but to start with, I would recommend maybe even a single column or a double column, maybe a triple column, just to start with. Once you get a little bit more advanced, maybe you come to this and you can move these apps around here in the background. So I'm going to choose that and apply. But these can be moved around at any time and flip-flopped and things like that. Okay. I'm going to choose I'm done. And this is what your page looks like. Again, to go in and manage the apps and the layout, you're going to click on this right here. We can delete these apps too. I noticed that the Flex Editor app has your basic information, your picture, your email. So I'm going to flip-flop these. And you can rearrange this however you'd like, but I'm just going to show you kind of some of the changes that I'm making here. I'm going to put I'm done, and if we go back, I'm going to again flip-flop back and forth to kind of show you the changes here. You can see that your picture's over on this left-hand side. One thing to consider when you're doing page layout is that you're always going to have on your home page, you're always going to have this left side. It's kind of like your navigation bar. This is set like we had talked about. This is a template that we're using throughout the entire district. So this you cannot get rid of. So you got to remember that you only have really, for the page layout, you only have from here over, and you can go down as far as you want. But we're going to keep this left side navigation bar for your home page. You can change this on other pages to use the full page, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're choosing page layouts. That's why I choose 2 or 3, because you only do have this little bit of room and as far down as you want to go to work with. So I'm going to come back in here. Some of the things that you can do as far as the apps go, and I'm going to talk real briefly about the apps. The only app that a few apps that I would really consider working with at this time would be if you had a book list. This is kind of convenient. We have this. This is what the book list app looks like under South. We have recommended books that I put on there a few weeks ago, and it lets you put the author, year published. It formats all of this for you. So if you had a list of books for your class, that might be an app to consider. And it's very easy to use. It tells you what to plug in: the name of the book, the title, the author, published, and a description. And then, like I said, it formats it for you. The document viewer app, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. I'm going to save that for last. Pretty much right now, those are the only apps. Photo gallery app. Let's go ahead and add one of these. that's about it. The upcoming apps you would attach, you could put this over under, the left-hand side, and it would connect to your calendar that you have. Your personal calendar that you have is your second page currently. So let's put, I said I was going to put a photo gallery app. You can rename this, so you could put and then that will be the name of that app, because as you go through you're going to add a lot of flex editor apps, and so sometimes I get confused. That's the big app that you use. That's just the kind of what you see is what you get. You type it in and you save it, and that's what appears on the website. And it tells you it's a photo gallery app. Let me just show you how to use this real quick. So if I click on this, basically this is what size it will be on your page. This is pretty big. This right here, if I go to the South website, I believe this size picture is about 450. So you could tell the 600 is going to take up a lot of your space, and if you have two columns, like I do here, that's why I had to shrink this down, because this page alone, the South School homepage, is a two-column based page layout. So your picture, if you do 600, it's not going to fit with a two-column page layout, and that's just something you have to work around. You might not want it this big. Maybe you want it 200, 300, and you can place it anywhere you want on the page. And you basically just upload photos, and you find, wherever you have them saved, you just continue to locate those. And you can add as many as you want, I believe. I'm not sure if there's a limit or not on this app. Okay. I'm going to go back to the home here. So that could be your photo. I'm going to delete that for right now, and it'll cycle through on your page automatically. I'm going to delete that app. I don't want that one. I'm going to add a different app. The other one I talked about was the document viewer. Well, let me talk about the Flex Editor app first. Again, you can add a bunch of these. But you could also include everything on this first app. Or you could kind of separate it on the page. Sometimes that works too. It'll separate it a little bit better, make it a little more neat and organized on your home page. But you can continue to stack apps as many as you want on both sides. You could just have one app here and 5 apps on this side, and just kind of play around with the layout. If you don't like that layout, change the layout of the page, and then move your apps around. Okay, but again, you only have that limited space, so sometimes 3 columns may not work so hot. I'm going to go ahead and delete this Flex Editor app, and I'm going to go back to where we had it, the 2 column. Okay, I'm going to add the Document Viewer app here. I'm just going to keep it at that. Now, I'm going to click I'm done. So the Flex Editor app, when I want to edit this, I click I'm done. Here's what you have. Again, it's what you see is what you get. You can add hyperlinks, which is what I did to the word website, to your Weebly. You can add images. You can add a file. If you want a file right on your page to where it opens up into a PDF or a PowerPoint presentation, you could do that. Here's images. And then I'm sure you know how to format text, bold, underline, center. You can use bullets and numbering. Some of the other features, honestly, I'm not too familiar with. These buttons up here, hook with Dreamweaver and front page and expression, which we don't use. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. If you notice, I did change your email address. So we're going to make sure we save that page every time. So the Document Viewer app, you've already have the Headlines and Features app, and you just create a new headline. It's almost like a newsletter. You can continue rolling it. You can have it display for only a certain amount of time, or you can just come in and delete them and purge through them when you're ready. So the Document Viewer app, how this works. So again, I told you that a PDF is going to be the best route to do this. Upload the file. If you've already uploaded that file, it will be under the existing files. shared would be what we share with everybody. We have those capabilities as well. I'm just going to browse. I'm going to find one of mine here. Here we go. Second grade supplies list. I'm going to insert the file. It's going to ask, actually, so it creates a URL for that file saved in Centricity or SchoolWires. So when I save this, now I'm going to go to your page, back to your page. And now this shows up. Now if you had this as a one column page, it would take up the rest of this. But you can zoom in and out. I'm using this this app quite a bit on some of the other pages. You know, and you can even extend it out. So that is something that you know, this is very useful if you've already have documents in Word or PowerPoint. You can do this as PowerPoint. Save them as PDFs. You can save a PowerPoint as a PDF too, and upload it as a document viewer app, and it makes things a lot easier. If you do a newsletter or anything like that, you can post it right to your front page. But again, with the two column layout, it only is in that first column, so you can kind of see where that column splits right here at this line. And I haven't figured out, I don't think there is a way to kind of split this up. If you wanted to put a line here or something like that, what I would recommend is in the Flex Editor app, going to a one-page layout, and on the Flex Editor app, using a table, you know, some type of table to where you can put your picture here, your email address here. You could do this in a one-column layout and then add the borders around your table to kind of separate things as you'd like. That is an option. So there's different ways you can go about this. I'm going to delete this for you. Okay, so I'm going to come back. So that's kind of how to work with apps. I would stick with Flex Editor app. I would stick with Document Viewer when you can. Maybe one or two column page layout, and just play around with some of the apps that are in here. And if it works, cool. If not, try a different page, and that's what I want to get to next. So currently you have two pages which appear here, those pages right here, again in your navigation bar. And this is your personal calendar. The things that you see on here now are things that I've added to the district calendar that I've made mandatory on every calendar, such as basically our district calendar, school board meetings, you know, late starts, things like that. So you can add to this. It'll only appear on your calendar, whatever you add. Okay, and that's right here. I do have a YouTube video, and I think I sent that one to you as well, on how to add events to a calendar. So I noticed on your, oh, I lost it. I noticed on your Weebly a few different things. So let's start with this. Maybe I want a welcome letter, and you probably have this welcome letter typed up as a Word document already. There's two ways you could do it. One, you could do Document Viewer on a new page. You title it Welcome Letter. So what I would do is I would create a new page, and you basically want the Flex page default, I think. Let's start with blank, actually. Let's just go with blank. We're going to call this Welcome Letter. And now you have this here, and we'll continue to add those pages as we want. So if I go into Welcome Editor or Welcome Letter, you notice that it didn't start, blank page started with 0 apps. So we're going to have to change the layout and the apps. And really, I'm going to keep it a one column, and I'm going to add the app of Document Viewer. So if you use Document Viewer and you save that welcome letter as a PDF, now you can upload it to this. And I'm going to go ahead and just put the second grade supplies list in there again. And I'll show you how it will look on your website. So if I refresh this page, your welcome letter's now here. And if I click on this, it shows up a little bigger because it's one column page. And one thing that I'm doing too, you have some options. If you don't want this here, your navigation, you only need it on it's required only on this page. You can't change it from this page. But if you don't want it on one of your sub pages, what you can do is, if I come back home to my page list and I go to actions and I go to page options, nope, that's not it. Oh yeah, hide this page from website navigation. No, that's not what I wanted. I need to go into it. Shoot, I can't remember how to get it off that page. Anyway, it's gonna drive me nuts. All right. So we would have our welcome there. That's the document viewer app. Maybe I don't want to use that app, and I want to use a Flex Editor instead. This is something you might want to do instead. So we're going to go to Flex Editor. I'm done. And I'm going to edit this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste what you have written here. Now you might have a stacked app if you still want that picture, welcome to second grade, put a Flex Editor app, start with this, and then put a second Flex Editor app under this one, and then put this information in. That's another option that you have. So we're going to see if this works. I'm going to right click copy. The formatting might be a little messed up on it, so you can kind of see you might have to just come through and change everything, just highlight it, change it to Arial or a different color or something. So if I save this now, you'll see what this looks like. So now you have this. But again, if you stack apps, you could put a picture and welcome to the second grade, or you could even include it on this Flex Editor app. So you can stack your apps. You could add pictures behind this. You can add pictures to this. It's just a matter of kind of playing around with it a little bit. I'm going to leave this on here just to kind of give you a start, and then you can go in and change it as you'd like. Next thing you had was daily schedule. Same thing. I'm going to show you another little trick that I've been using. So if you have this in a document, maybe you create a new page. Let's go ahead and save this, come back out. Let's create a new page. Let's use blank again. And this one I'm going to call schedule. So we go into here. I am going to add the Flex Editor app again. So you could use the document viewer if you had document viewer app. If you had this already as a document, again, save it as a PDF, and then it'll pop up nice and neat on your page. You could copy and paste this, but I'm going to guarantee that the formatting won't show up since that's in a bunch of different columns. Not too bad, but it's going to be more work trying to format this to get everything aligned and straight and things like that. So I'm going to do something that I've shown other people. Under the Start button, you should have something called, I have it pinned down here, Snipping Tool. So if you just go to the Start button and you type in Snipping Tool, this pops up. You can just click it, drag it down here, or you can just open it. And what this does, move this off to the side. Maybe you know this already, maybe don't. But we're going to take a snapshot of this screen. Just like that. Now this turns into an image. So I can right click, copy, here. Let's go ahead and paste it. Control V. So now it's just a picture. It's basically just a picture of what you had on Weebly. So that's an option. However, now you can't edit this. It's an image. It's a JPEG. So you can't modify this, but that's an option that you have. I'm going to go ahead and save this too. Let's go back and refresh our page. You see schedule pops up now. Now, since it's an image, it doesn't fit on our screen. So I've got a couple options here. One is shrink the picture down. So it's a little smaller, but it's still cut off. So, you can continue to shrink this down, or again, a document viewer would automatically adjust to this one column. I'm still a little baffled why I can't get rid of that left side option. Okay, so next thing, I noticed that you have rules and expectations can do the same thing. You could copy and paste this. You could do two different apps, put a little picture at the top, put your rules underneath, or document viewer app. And then I also noticed that you had show and tell schedule and your curriculum broken down into sub headings. And that's what I want to show you next. I'm going to start with curriculum. So I'm going to create a new page, and I'm going to go to blank. And maybe you'd want to add a calendar app to this, or put your calendar app under this. I don't know. Explaining assignments, due dates, things like that. So I'm going to title this curriculum. If you want to organize these pages, I don't know why it's doing this, but this is where you would organize, and you just slide them up and down. I'm going to show you a little bit more about that in a minute. So under curriculum, you had 4 different things. So I'm going to create another new page. Language arts, math, science, social studies. Oops. Okay, now, but we want these 4 under curriculum. So I'm going to come up to organize, and I'm going to drag them, or see where the plus sign, now that's under that. There we go. We're going to save that. Now you have these sub pages. I'm going to try this one last time. Shoot. All right. I give up. And again, once you click on these, you can add the app. Maybe you want a Flex Editor app. Looks like under Curriculum Language Arts, you've got Reading, Unit 1. So you can continue to create pages, as many as you want, and then continue to organize them and put them underneath curriculum. So let me show you just one last time here. We're going to use blank. We're going to do reading. We're going to put reading under language arts. So you extend this. We're going to put reading in here. So you can continue to kind of create levels within your website. And again, I've said this a bunch, but maybe you want to use Flex Editor app. Maybe you want to use Document Viewer. Or you could use the snippet tool. and try it that way. So you have some different options. You can do different page layouts within all of these pages. Let's take a look to see what it looks like on school wires. So now you see a plus sign next to curriculum and language arts and so on. So it's organized just like it was how you have it in Weebly. I think that's about it. Again, this is a one-column page layout. Right now on your home page, we have a two-column page layout. I'm going to go into your schedule here, and we're going to delete this because that's not fitting on the page. Actually, I'm just going to shrink it a little bit more. Make sure you always use the corner handles if you didn't know, otherwise it kind of messes up. Let's see what it looks like now. There. So that fits, but it's a little small. So it's up to you on what you want to do. It's a good start. If you have more questions, let me know. I hope this video helped.